Welcome to another edition of Opposite Saxes. We're glad to have you with us again. We really are. We really
Yes, we
are.
are. We
Absolutely,
are.
really are.
Not sure about today's topic, but yeah, go right ahead.
Well, we're going to tell everybody who we're sponsored by first, or you want to get into the topic and tell them later?
Well, no, I do want to mention my wonderful necklace. I
Yeah,
love my necklace.
I know you
I
love your
love
necklace.
my necklace.
She never takes it off. She sleeps it
Yeah.
with it on.
My rubbernecksjewelry.com.
Right.
My
Good,
rubber
good
neck.
friend of ours.
Yeah.
Nancy Plax, who's the designer and the manufacturer, the marketer. She's the sales
She's-
rep.
she's everything.
Everything.
But she will come up with other colors, and you don't have to go with this. You could go with beads.
But
you
unique,
could
yeah,
go with
the u-
anything, and
yeah.
she will make whatever you like. But
But the unique thing about it is that you're just looking at a necklace
yes.
on her neck. It's made out of rubber
I
bands.
know, it's amazing.
That's why it's called rubber necks.
No, it's so easy.
And Nancy makes them with all kinds of she adds shells and she adds jewels and she adds all kinds of crystals and things like that to make up her collection. Go to rubbernecks
Jewelry,
jewel rubberneckjewelry.com.
rubber neck,
Rubberneckjewelry.com.
jewelry.com.
That's what I said.
Maybe it's rubber necks. I just
Well,
looked it up.
check it both ways. You'll
No, but it's really
you'll get
everything
to
she
it.
does is so unusual.
You'll see a terrific
just love
photo of our friend Nancy there too.
Yeah, she's
and
great.
check it out. It's really different and unusual. And we'll tell you about our other sponsors later in the show.
But I'll bet Nancy knows all about what we're going to talk about today.
She probably does because she's a healthy person.
Yeah, she is.
And that's the only thing I don't like about her.
Well, no, she does like her brownies. She
Well, yeah,
loves chocolate brownies.
Well, everybody that's on any kind of a diet, falls off the wagon from time to time. Let's face it.
They do?
I mean, there are
Really, hon?
I'll bet that there are some real hardcore vegans that would not put a piece of anything in their mouth that wasn't on that specific diet. But I know for a fact that there's lots of people that are vegetarians or follow a vegetarian regimen
Yes.
that occasionally will order a sausage pizza.
Well, your son, our son.
Yep, he's trying to.
He's
well,
doing
no,
plant-based.
Yes, what we used to call a vegetarian regimen. People that would call it a now it's the new catchword is plant-based
Right.
diet.
And he's lost a lot of weight on it.
Yeah, he has.
He's been very good about his diet. But yes, every so often he takes a little nibble of this and a little nibble of that, and
I know-
you
I
have to. You have those cravings come.
I'm still
and a
having,
little bit is
I'm
not
still
bad.
having trouble with it.
It's a little bit, dear, not a lot.
I know. I just
It's a little.
and the future. All I can see is that they're out there. All these researchers are working to take ingredients and make them taste like other ingredients.
Oh, I thought you were talking about binging. Okay, you're talking about the
No,
plant.
binging I already know how to do.
Oh, that's why I said a little, not a lot.
Boy, do I know how to binge.
Well, that's why I kept saying
No,
that. But
I'm
yeah.
talking about plant-based foods. I mean, I just don't understand how you can walk into the grocery store and go to the frozen or the refrigerated section and buy a box of burgers that has absolutely no meat in it.
Yeah, this is going to be a topic we might agree on. We might agree on because I don't know a lot about it. I know what I like and what I don't like, and I'm old-fashioned. It's hard for me to get into this new way of eating, and I should.
Yeah.
Both of us should.
Well,
But
it goes.
like, and you mentioned tofu when we were talking a little while ago.
Yeah, we're going to talk about tofu on the show a little bit.
Thought, and you explained what it is.
When I was growing up, when we were growing up, they sent guys into space to circle the globe or to go to even before they went to the moon in the 60s. But the food was in a tablet. They would take a tablet and they would put it in a bag, add water, and mush it all up. And that mush in that bag was equal to a steak and a baked potato and green beans and a dessert and something
Not
to
only
drink.
that, but they also had like foil pouches
Yeah.
that they would just.
But it was
suck or
a liquid
digest.
food that was supposed to taste like a gourmet meal.
Right.
And I mean, I remember, and having served in the Army, and a lot of veterans that are watching the show will know what I'm talking about, Spam. You know what Spam is made of? It's made of all the leftover pieces of meat that they didn't cut to put in the case at the butcher shop. They take all the little odds and ends, they grind it all up, mash it all together, and put it in a can. And honestly, in Vietnam, Spam was like a filet mignon to us. You would cut it up and you'd put it on a grill. You'd fry it in a pan.
And it filled you up, or not?
Yeah, I mean, it would fill you up, but it was almost like eating an artificial burger or whatever, because you didn't really know what was in it. If you read the ingredients,
well, you're probably better off not knowing.
Yeah, but that's what I was talking to you earlier about tofu. Tofu is soybeans that are curdled. Now,
I don't like that
I don't
word.
even I don't even do cottage cheese because it's curdled.
No, you don't.
But now they take soybeans and through a process they make it, and it can come in several different forms. It comes in ground up, shredded, so you use it like cheese to put on a salad.
Yes.
Or like Spam, you can get it in a brick, and you slice off a piece of it and you put it in a pan and you fry it, and then you add it to a bowl of rice or whatever, and it becomes a vegan meal. And supposedly that fried tofu with a little seasoning or something is supposed to make you think it's meat.
Are you sure about that?
I read it online.
Oh. Well, you can always...
If you read it online, it must be true.
Oh, you're right. Sure. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have a hard time. I like my basic carrots, celery, apples.
If I want a plant-based meal,
yeah,
lettuce, mushrooms, tomatoes.
Yeah, you're very good. You're very good with your salads and your fruits
shredded
and vegetables.
And I'll throw a little bit of crumbled bacon, because that's also a protein, folks. But to say that no, everything has got to be.
Although Jeremy gave us those burgers that were absolutely delicious.
Well, you've had an Impossible Burger, haven't you?
I think I had
that was one of the first,
and I wasn't really impressed.
I have to admit that when I got one, and it was one of the first ones that was mass produced and marketed as an Impossible Burger. They didn't want to call it, Burger 2 or something like that. They called it an Impossible Burger because you were to bite into it and say, it's impossible.
Yeah.
How can this be a burger? It tasted remotely like a burger, but then when you looked at the ingredients and saw that there was like 5 times the amount of sodium, well, sodium was what gives anything a little bit more flavor.
Right.
But yeah, it was made with plants, and then you put it on with extra virgin olive oil or something and fry it in a pan, and it comes out supposedly tasting like a burger. So what do? They take the burger, they put it on a really nice toasted bun, and they put in a slice of onion and a slice of tomato and some lettuce, and then a slice of cheese, and it kind of masks
supposed to mask the taste?
So that.
But not only that, but for those of us that are gluten free, those burgers we had were not gluten free.
Well, you have to be careful of that too.
So you always have to read your ingredients.
Yeah.
Like you said, the sodium content,
right,
the carbohydrate content.
Plant-based doesn't mean that it's wheat-free.
Yeah.
When you go in...
And I didn't know that, and I ate the burger. It was great, though.
I got to admit it. If I go in and we buy a box of something, and it's got all those symbols on it that said it's wheat-free, gluten-free, sugar-free,
right,
this free, that free, and you bite into it, it's free of taste, too.
No, it depends. No, I think there are a lot of gluten-free products that are very, very good. The problem with them is they're very caloric.
Yeah, that can be.
They're high in carbohydrates.
So it's a trade-off.
But there's a lot of new things out. Look at the was it dairy-free ice cream? The Enlightened ice cream bars that your sister
They're
gave us.
they're pretty tasty.
Now, I don't know. I don't think they're dairy-free. Now that I say that, but they have no high fructose corn syrup.
Yeah, they've got a lot of things missing that you would normally get in a regular ice cream bar.
Yeah, they were.
But I gotta tell you, and it ain't a Haagen-Dazs.
Oh, come on. Well, you're not supposed to have a Haagen-Dazs.
Or a Dove bar.
Well,
it's supposed to be a replacement for those.
You can have one of those every few months.
That's what we were talking about.
But
falling off the
You have
wagon.
Your eyes. I wish your. No, I can't say that.
Not only that.
Your eyes are too good.
Well, that's true. But the way I justify it, I go into the market and I see that there's a box of the Dove, dark, rich chocolate ice cream bars, and it's like maybe there's 6 bars in the box for $10. Now, over here is the Enlightened bar. Now, it also has probably carob, which is a substitute chocolate, and it's got no dairy, and there's only 4 of them in the box, and it's like $16.
Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Before you go any further,
anything.
Why are you in that area of the grocery store? Because when you go in that area of the grocery store, you're going to see something that really
it's right across the aisle.
Makes you gravitate towards that selection, and you got to take it.
It's right across the aisle from the frozen vegetables.
Well, don't turn around. Just stare at the vegetables, please.
Okay.
Because it's better for both of us. Because then you bring it home, and I don't have much of a
resistance.
Thank you. I couldn't think of it for a minute.
I mean,
seriously, you shouldn't be looking at that area.
I'm becoming a little bit more conscious of the sugars, the breakdown
between
the fats and the sugars and the protein. And the plant-based diets and the vegan type diets and everything are real heavy in the protein.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of the spectrum.
Yes.
And then a little bit of fats and really low in the carbohydrates.
Well, that's
as
good.
Low as possible.
That's good. But they still have gluten in them, a lot of it.
And I mean, the upside is that if you are not a vegetarian, protein, you get a lot of protein from good lean meat and fish.
Yeah.
I
have to do this. Excuse me.
It's
bothering me.
Oh, did Nancy send a note?
No.
Saying, excuse me, you want to turn it a little bit?
I'm so sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I was just starting to say that there is meat that is part of a protein. Like when you go to some of these salad places, and you make up your own salad. Once they finish with all the veggies that you put into your salad, they always say to you, "Do you want to add some protein?
Right.
Do you want some bacon in it? Do you want some salmon? Do you want some chicken? That's an additional protein part of it. And yeah, it's okay to have that. Not to a vegan or to a vegetarian because they don't. Who was it that says? Our friend Nora, who we love to death, who says that her definition of a vegan is you don't eat anything that has a face. So that includes fish and any kind of an animal.
Wasn't it your grandson that said that?
If it's got a face, you don't eat it. Well, our grandson is pretty much a vegetarian too.
Yeah.
But I mean, his diet can consist of macaroni and cheese and
pizza
and French fries. No meat. So I guess he's a vegetarian. But
well, anyway, at this stage of my life, I guess I should be more proactive. Shall we say?
Yeah.
My diet and picking and choosing what I should and shouldn't be eating, as well as you. But I'm not. I'm just not. I know what's good and what isn't.
In my life, I don't give a rat's
No,
you
but
know
there's a
what.
part. The vegan is one thing, and the plant-based things are one thing. The other thing, which is a whole nother show,
Yeah.
is the
Well,
junk food.
I recently went to the
That's
cardiologist who, he's the one that's been on my butt to lose weight and try and get more exercise and go to some of these diets. And he summed it up very well. He said, if it tastes good, spit it out.
yeah.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
That's the diet, the spit it out diet. If it tastes good, spit it
Well,
out.
it's funny you say that because my mom and my sister occasionally they'll have a piece of chocolate, and they've just been on the scale and they don't like what they see on the scale, so they'll take the piece of chocolate and get a taste, and then they spit it out. You've been there where they spit it out in the sink,
You will
and
never.
you have said, how can they do that? But that's why they want that taste, but they don't want the calorie and everything else.
You will never see this guy ever spit out a piece of chocolate. If it goes in, it stays in.
I think we have to do another show on sweets.
We may have to do another show on dieting or so. But want to also just mention our other sponsors. Christine Dean, who is the DFWNetworkingDiva.com. You can go to that website and find out what Christine does. She is a marketer of your business. She takes real control of your business and helps you improve it.
She's a marketing guru.
Yes. And also, if you have ever said to yourself, you know what, I can't stand the rat race, I'd like to be my own boss, and have ever given any thought to maybe getting a franchise, it doesn't have to cost $100,000 or more. You can call Irving Chung, who is a franchise consultant.
He's very knowledgeable.
BigConsideration.com. Get in touch with Irving, and both of these are friends of ours, and they both will give you free consultation time. And just say, hey, is franchising for me? Or I want to improve my business. What would you suggest I do?
Yeah.
Christine Dean, DFW, networkingdiva.com, and Irving Chung at bigconsideration.com. If you contact either one of them, say, hey, I heard about you guys on opposite Saxes. What can you do for me?
There you go.
And you know what you can do for us? You can come back again next week.
We'll be here.
We'll be here, and we're not sure what we're going to be talking about, but it ain't going to be tofu.
No, you're right.
Bye.
Bye.